Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mutants&Masterminds. Hey, everybody! It's the first stream, can you tell? Hey, everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bell on Twitter, Pope World Bell on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and I get to be the editor in this one. Welcome to Paradise City Stories, a Mutants and Masterminds actual play over here on Weave the Tale. First, let's get some admin out of the way. I want to thank all of our wonderful and illustrious sponsors. First and foremost, Green Ronin, thank you so much for this opportunity to bring this wonderful game to the world and allow us to tell our story. You can definitely tell from, if you know a little bit about history and following me, Green Ronin's definitely been a part of my life and my time here on Twitch. And by all means, go seek them out. Funnily enough, this was like the fifth game system that I was able to partake in when I was growing up, when it first came out. Absolutely fantastic. It's changed over the editions, but not too much. Still a wonderful D20 based system that allows you to customize and make nearly anything that comes to mind. Then I want to thank the folks over at Modifius. If you've caught Dune, you know just how good their stuff is. And by all means, definitely tune into that show. It's going to be a ride. And then Free League, who, congratulations on winning all of those Ennies. Well deserved. Tune in tomorrow night. Hopefully, we won't have too many face huggers in the plumbing, and that can go live, and we can just hear those delightful screams. And last but certainly not least, I want to thank Imagining Games. If you've been tuning into Chew, it's a split your sides funny setting system. So there's just so much going on here at Weave, on top of the numerous one-shots. So by all means, if you're interested, follow Twitter, join us on Discord, and be part of this amazing community. And before we get to our wonderful, wonderful cast, I should probably mention how you can help them out. And help is something that they might very well need. First and foremost, that tweet, the Go Live tweet. Please like and retweet that. Get that out there. I will be keeping my eye on that total. When we hit our first goal, which is 20, they will get a boon, an aid in the course of their heroics and investigations. Should that tweet get to, let's say, 35, I get a Bane. And considering how stacked and smart these players are and their characters, I could use that Bane. And then if we get all the way around to 50 retweets, they'll get another boon. And then should we miraculously get to 75 retweets, we'll just drop a supervillain on them. Just a full-on, ready to wreck their lives villain. So, by all means, keep those tweets coming. Now, as much as I want to just, Kool-Aid Man someone who is ready to wreck their days, they would definitely like more aid than harm, I would guess. And so we have a number of donation goals. First off is a little help. That's a +2. And in a D20 system like this, where there's degrees, so every 5 above, every 5 below, that really starts shifting the landscape. So that +2 goes a long way. Oh dear! We were talking about Banes and Boons earlier. Here's one way to just shove them immediately in. So, if you want to significantly help them out or significantly help me out, by all means, oh dear. 30 is I have the power. This is a hero point system. You can spend those for incredibly potent rerolls, as well as taking minor narrative control. So, giving them those hero points, or giving me a hero point, has a significant impact on the game. Sweet MacGuffin! Next issue, the team discovers a new gadget or magic device that will be featured and will help them along the way. If you all know, say, like Numenera, a system I have not played nearly enough of, getting those few use items of significant import is something I absolutely adore, and this is a way to shove something like that into our narrative. Then, Team Up! A superhero from the litany of heroes in our world shows up to help out our team, and will be featured in the next issue. From Hell's Heart. If you immediately just want to grab a little hold of the narrative and really turn up the heat on our heroes, Hell's Heart means that next issue, one of the really big bads shows up. And then last, certainly not least, though the headache that it will incur, there is Multiversal Incursion. The House of Secrets appears. The plot takes a hard right turn, and my current plot just goes out the window as an interdimensional detour happens to the narrative, our heroes, our villains, and an entire other, far more dangerous plot unfolds. So, please, by all means, help these folks out, and remember, your donations go to help paying the cast. So please, by all means, if you are enjoying what these people are doing, please, please, please contribute. And if you can't necessarily contribute in a large way, if you want to help pay the cast in a small way, please go over to Weave the Tales Patreon. That money helps pay all of the casts, so please, 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 if you're enjoying what you're watching, go over to the Patreon and contribute. Well, with that, I think it's time to stop jabbering at you and start telling a story. So, I will catch you all again real soon.
we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Paradise City Stories. I am Pope, your editor for today's story. And we have a fantastic team of superheroes here, both in the flesh and in the ink. So let's go around and meet our fantastic cast today, starting with Alicia. How you doing?
Hello, I'm Alicia, or Energy 9, or Petty Energy, depending on where you know my internet, and I will be playing Jettica Jones, who's honestly quite a big fan of science, but magic will do.
Fantastic. Anino, friend, how you doing?
Hey, Pope. Hey, everyone. My name is Anino. I use he, him pronouns. And in this show, I am playing Lawin, a bit of a mystery. Check it out soon.
Well, definitely love me a mystery. Um, and many mysteries come behind a mask. Molly, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm Molly, and I will be playing Titanica, who is Titanic.
Excellent. And, of course, from our shadowy corners, Mr. Smith.
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I'll be playing Bastian Bucks, who's recently deigned to call himself Mr. Universe. This is a bit of his origin story that most people hear about, but in a classic science gone wrong scenario, Bastian has gained some unique capabilities.
Well, we are going to feature those capabilities rather quickly. So, we turn the pages of Paradise City Stories, issue 300, New Beginnings. And we start off in an area near the waterfront of Paradise City. For those of you who have been following the story so far, an area noted for high crime and shady figures, but we're a little bit further inland than that. And it looks to be in a nice, wooded, well appointed industrial slash corporate complex. But it would be, you know, quiet, warm, but quiet, except for the fact that there's definitely something that can be described as demonic in the area, and a number of individuals in power armor that are contesting said demonic entity, but they're more preoccupied, those power armored individuals, with our heroes, as our team is taking on members of Doxie's Midnight Wreckers, a group of mercenaries for hire with a bit of a goth aesthetic. And with that, let's roll some initiative.
All right, let's roll it. I'm assuming that's a button on this sheet.
Hello,
somewhere.
Raiders.
There.
Glad to have you with us. We are just getting started with Paradise City Stories, a Mutants and Masterminds actual play. Welcome. Come on in. We are just rolling initiative. All right. Well, now, Mr. Universe, it seems you get to go first. What would you
Bear.
like to do?
So how many individuals how many individuals are currently from causing this particular issue?
Those that are still standing number as 8 individuals between whatever extra dimensional entities they first encountered and your initial arrival. A significant group, a team of 15, has been whittled down to 8.
So Bastion's going to use his graviton grab effect to hold down as many of the 8 that are left standing as possible. With each roll, he will take a negative. I'm sorry, he takes a negative for every additional target beyond the first. So he'll be at a -7 for the rolls.
Okay, let's see that roll.
Already counted for the -7 in there.
All right.
I don't think that one worked.
9, no. So please tell me, how does it feel? What is our little yellow box
Yeah.
over by this panel? What is Mr. Universe thinking?
So Universe sort of flies in and is kind of floating there, assessing the situation, and throws his hands out as he attempts to control the gravity around these individuals to press them down to the ground. His knowledge of gravity and his use of his powers, however, is a bit new. And so he's frustrated with the fact that he can't quite grab onto any of them. However, a few of the windows and some of the structure on the buildings next to these in the nearby area seem to feel the effects from his gravitational forces. They sort of crack a bit as he just, damn it, as he's frustrated with himself.
We can definitely see the impact of Mr. Universe's powers as we see bits of pavement and cement just crack under the pressure and power. But the focus isn't there, and all of the records are still up, still ready to engage, still ready to cause a ruckus. So, Lawin, you're up next. What you up to?
So Lawin's a bit more stealthier in his approach. The sun is out. There aren't very many clouds, so he's going to take the position high in the air that has the sun behind him, so it's very difficult to see him. And as he narrows in and focuses on one of the targets, he's going to swoop down with a diving kick across one of the minions. And it's an electrical attack in nature, so as he's diving down, you'll see electric energy coursing, like a form of wings sort of spread out behind his back as he makes his dive. And there's just this flash and then thunder that follows from the strike as he comes down.
Let's see if it connects. Oh, that connects. We see that electricity wreathed boot just hit the side of the helmet on one of Doxie's Midnight Wreckers. There is an audible oof as they try and withstand the blow, and boy, howdy, don't they? As their bell is distinctly rung. We see the small jets along the blackened power armor that helped them move faster than normal just sort of short, and this individual, this suit of armor, take a knee and have a cough. Their bell clearly wrong. and them crying for help from their fellows. With that, Titanica, you're up.
So Titanica sort of looks around and then just like nods to herself and then takes a leap about 50 or 60 feet into the air and tries to just like double axe handle down onto one of them.
All right, let's see if it connects. 14. Now the shot goes wide, but I am interested to hear about the impact.
Yeah, sort of on the follow through as she lands and just swings both her feet, both her hands into the ground. There's a pretty substantial divot and cracks in the asphalt that come out from it. And then she sort of pulls her hands back and pauses, like, "Oh, damn it!"
Yeah, no, pavement flies everywhere. As if it weren't for the jets on that power armor, just shifting the individual ever so slightly out of the way. There could very well been a crumpled heap of an individual right in front of Titanica. The individual cursing under their breath, the classic text bubble of not letters as much as just characters and symbols going up in response to that display of immense strength. Jettica, what are you doing?
Jettica sort of seeing that they are in fear, but they're still there and not running away. So we should fix that. So Jettica's gonna kind of take aim with her arm. She's gonna hold her arm out, and on the underside of her arm, there's like a triangle, like a black triangle there. She's gonna dip into one of her pouches on her belt. Two of her fingers are in ink, and she's gonna start drawing like sort of blockish designs stemming from that arrow, point it that way, and fire off rune number 68 and hit them with cylinder blast.
All right, let's see if it manifests.
Gotta guess, yes.
Oh, that's a crit. Okay. We'll see just how bad this goes for our friends here, as that increases the DC to resist by 5. Whoa. Okay. Obviously you managed to connect and hit possibly the most competent amongst the wreckers. And like, you are so used to, especially in the months previous, this connecting with such force, it usually just takes somebody out immediately when you hit center mass. But something, whether it's the individual or the suit, you definitely hurt them, but not in the way that you were expecting, as they let out a slight cry, but they're still standing and immediately readying one of their blasters on you. And so we will see if they manage to connect. Does a 15 hit you?
Is that against fortitude or?
It's against your dodge DC.
My dodge DC. So no, it does not.
So the shot goes wide. This burst of red, as this high-powered laser cuts through and ends up in the trees, scorching one of them. Not quite enough to cause it to light a flame, but enough that the bark has been blasted away. And this exchange is where it was going quite well initially. The numbers game may be catching up with our heroes. Now, given the number that have fallen, I'm going to do a quick will check. They're still ready to fight. As they begin to realize part of the problem is their lack of coordination. Just hearing through small little text boxes, some of their comm chatter. This was supposed to be a simple job. We were just supposed to get into the building, grab the books. There was no talk about demons and capes. We should run. We're getting paid too much for the job. These guys can't hit the broadside of the barn except for the flyer. Bring him down. As a coordinated volley of fire lets loose towards Lawin. We will see, with the assist, whether this hits or not. Does a 21 connect with Lawin's dodge DC?
Sorry, you're just a smidge below 22.
Even with the coordinated fire, this doesn't work. Please describe the panel as how Lawin dodges out of the way around this volley of shots.
So you'll see, remember that dodge scene where Spider-Man 1, when the Green Goblin threw a bunch of razors at Spider-Man and he sort of just spun horizontally in place? That's pretty much what Lawin does, because his feet never really touch the ground. He's powered up, so you'll see him twist through them and then soar upward.
And through their fire, you soar, twist, and weave as that concentrated attack does nothing. And now, your little helper, somebody who has been quietly, or, well, not so quietly, assisting you from this fight, what can best be described as an imp that has drunk at least 6 monsters all at once, goes to town to try and pull away for some misbegotten mischief one of the wreckers. Oh, that hits. And now we'll see if they survive. Nope. And so in the next panel, you see this thing that is made of shadow and flame. It's got horns pointed at the tops and ends of its wings, and this clawed hand just jumps, grabs, phases through the helm of one of the wreckers, wrenching through. There is screaming as they immediately eject the helmet. Their eyes wide in a panic and just go screaming off into the woods. So, 8 has become 7, 7.5. So, we go back up to the top. Mr. Universe, what you gonna do?
looking at the group that's left after the dwindling numbers, he's just going to target one of the. I'm sorry. Were the demons visible yet?
Oh yeah, but it seems as
Okay.
though like each one, once they finally engage, dissipates into the shadows amongst the scene. Um, there was a demon for each individual, and now there's only 7 of those figures left. As that last one connected and has rejoined their brethren, or maybe were dismissed to some dark and terrible plane.
Interesting. All right, he'll target one of the mech mooks um, that are left.
Mech moot. Nice.
With a cosmic blast. A little bit better, I think.
Significantly so. That definitely connects. Now let's see if it's enough to bring them to their knees. Your blast definitely connects, but not with the fury that you want. It impacts and hits the shoulder. This is definitely someone who's seen combat before and knows how to take a hit and move with it, letting that momentum carry them back, pirouetting on one foot, landing in slightly a daze. The you can hear him through his helmet. We're losing. We should fall back.
So as Universe assessed the demon situation and targeted that particular maybe not so nameless mechanical mook, he put his hands together and a bright white beam of light just went to target straight to the chest, but Miss Universe, again, not really used to the multitasking of abilities, actually dropped in altitude a bit, losing some of his flight, causing the mook to dodge out a bit, making a glancing blow, so to speak.
You can tell at least that the glances are starting to add up. As this, it's not going as well as you guys have dealt with individuals in the past, but again, comes to mind that this is the first time the team has dealt with, for lack of a better term, a bunch of out-of-towners since the inciting incident that originally brought you all together nearly a year ago. And with that, a little bit of information brought to memory. Lawin, you're up next.
So you see, Lawin's just going to glance behind him at the guy he struck on his way down, and you'll see. No, he moves quick enough that you barely see him. See, he sort of just passes through the guy, but in his flight path, he just manages another diving punch.
All right, let's see it. Connects. The punch hits, but you didn't target the same guy before, as this one who leaps into the way is the same one that Jettica blasted, but was able to stand their ground. You are more than versed in the ways of combat. You've been doing this for a long time, Long. The suits are what's usually powering most of these individuals. This individual has powers of their own, but they may not realize it. As you connect, and you connect hard enough that you feel that metal give. It's a feeling you felt numerous times before, but the flesh and bone underneath it refuse. All right. Anything that makes Lawin, what is he thinking with this revelation?
He just looks a little irked and cracks his knuckles.
All right. With that hard look, we turn over to Titanica. What you doing?
She will turn and then try to take a much more controlled punch at the same person that she missed before. So it's a very like practiced but amateur, like just straight punch. And misses hilariously.
The genesis on these guys is just enough to keep them ever so slightly ahead of where your blows are going. It's they're showing you just how green you still are. Even after a year working with the team, it seems as though folks with just a bit of speed give you so much trouble. But your blows hit with such force, they're cutting through the wind. There is definitely signs that should these connect, whoever's on the other end is going to suffer. As we see a panel of that whiff and all the wind coming off of that blow, blowing the trees back. Now with that, we come to Jettica. What you doing?
All right, seeing that our armor friends seem to be a bit sturdier than expected, especially the one that took a direct hit not only from Jettica but Lawin as well. Jettica is going to use her ritualist advantage. So I think I might do a hero point to do it, but yeah. So I'm gonna try and make a magic check to try and come up on the spot with some sort of magic ritual to do an enhanced magic attack to sort of account for whatever extra power this person seems to have.
Actually, what I will take that hero point, but what we're going to do is a powered stunt.
Okay.
And what I want to see is a two-parter. First, I want to have that magic check, just to see how Jettica's expertise helps.
25.
25. That, again, as much as Jettica likes to refer to magic as just unexplained science, their grasp of magical principles borders on someone who has gotten there, at very least a master's, if not a doctorate. And you're able to come up with something. Now, what I would like to see, since you just want something quick on the fly, powered up, ready to ring this individual's bell. What power are you going to use primarily to? What rune are you going to use to hit this guy with?
Rune is in one that's already in my array, or Rune is in one she's seen before but is not part of her active arsenal?
Either. I'm interested to know.
Okay. So the one she's gonna try, so this is not one that she's perfected to the point where she can call on it at will, but she is going to try and essentially call down lightning. So so that should affect the internal systems and everything, and it's just so a cloud just kind of so she's kind of summoning a cloud and just direct targeted lightning is what she's trying to do.
All right. In this case, with how everything's going, um, roll me 1d20 plus 7.
1d20 plus 7 coming up.
Well, that connects. That connects with some potency. As we see. Yeah. So,
Can I describe what the room she's drawing and everything?
please
Okay,
give
so
me 3 panels.
3 panels. All right, first panel. So she has her normal pouch in the front that's just her regular black ink. This time she's going to reach behind her into her 2 back pouches and pull out her hands. One's going to be covered in sort of what appears to be gold, like liquid gold dust. The other one is going to be sapphire colored. So it looks like gold dust and sort of like sapphire dust, and she is drawing in the air. She's very normal to drawing on her body, but this is something like externally. So she's drawing in the air, and you can sort of see each sort of symbol come up in a circle. So she draws each circle, one north, east, south, and west. It's probably going to be flipped in the camera. A big and a diamond to connect each one, cross in the middle. Then she grabs it physically, turns it, and pulls it back to sort of open the portal to this lightning coming through. So it's like panel
Uh,
1, pouches,
yeah.
panel 2, symbols, panel 3, unleashed.
All right. So, with those panels, we then see the lightning emanate from this portal, and our competent, powered, probably individual gets just unloaded on with this lightning, and we see sparks coming from the armor, and we see them slump over. And with that and
Finally.
combination of sirens emanating not too far away, the remaining standing, there's a call, that's it, we're out, as they try and grab hold of not all their members, they can't carry that many, but snatch a number and leave the rest of their fellows to whatever fate befalls them and hightail it out of here. Do you pursue?
I think Jettica is still going to take a while to still like shake off that extra thing she is. So she's kind of still shaking her arms and not ready to draw room to catch up with him.
All right, we'll go around. Mr. Universe, what are you going to do? They've seemed to broke. They seem
So
to
he
be in
actually,
retreat.
yeah, he eyes the rest of his team to take cue from them. He didn't do so well today, so his confidence is a little waning.
All right. Lawin, what does your
Lawin's
experience say?
Lawin's going to chase down. I mean, they're weighed down so he doesn't feel like they're going to outrun him.
All right, so there's a chase. Titanica, you gonna give chase as well, or you gonna hold back?
Titanica will actually start looking at the ones that got left to make sure that nobody's dying.
The ones that you're finding, they're not close to death. Some of them are going to end up being in traction for a couple of months, but no one's close to death.
So it's very much like a quick first aid check, and at that point you'll probably then notice that Lawin left and be dragging well behind him, chasing after him.
So, Lawin, you give chase. I know how fast you are.
Bastian will follow.
Two who can fly and fly fast are giving chase to individuals who, at least from current books, don't seem to have an answer for your speed. You catch up in an instant. But is an instant maybe too late, as one of them utters emergency gate protocol now, and I will let the two of you who have exceptional speed just give me an acrobatics check.
Sure.
Okay. Well, Bastian, you're not quite quick enough to pull off what Lawin's able to do, as Lawin, with your
No.
vantage point, manages to snatch one. As the rest of the group that's gathered together, including the fellows that they had in hand, teleport away. But Lawin, in your hands is one of the conscious members of Doxie's Midnight Wreckers.
Can Lawin try to intimidate this guy by dropping him from a very high spot and then catching him at the last second?
I'll allow it.
I think we would use our deception check.
I'll take a combination. I want both the intimidation and deception check.
9 and 9.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting combo.
So from what this exchange is, high in the air. Again, the masked face, black mask, red lenses over the eyes, pretty much emotionless. As you can tell by how the body feels in your hand. They're not afraid, but they're dead certain you're going to drop them.
Yeah, I mean, Lawin is basically going to climb up to a very high point, drop him, and he's just going to take one lazy loop-the-loop and catch him at the bottom of the loop before flying back to the rest of the group and the other prisoners that they took.
He's, like, you can tell there's, the body is incredibly tense. But this guy's a professional, and he It's going to take more to get him to talk. But you bring him back, and to the scene, we see that, yeah, the Paradise City PD has arrived, including your all's favorite officer, Lieutenant Joe Lyons, immediately there to greet you. It's always you.
Oh,
I'm
hello, Joe.
guessing. Team's not all here. Guessing what? They're still on vacation?
They'll be
Everyone
along
needs a break, right?
shortly.
Well, that's why they got away, I guess. All right. You can hand them over.
Can
Been what,
we?
a few days, Joe?
May we?
How you doing, Joe? You having a good day? Did you
I
get your
see you
coffee?
more often than my kids, okay? No.
Eating family
Hand them
first
over.
every time.
I appreciate the help. I do.
I mean, we got this covered if you need to take some time off. I mean, everything's fine.
Funny. He pushes that pencil in the panel towards you. No. Wagon's already here. You can load them in.
Oh,
If
but
you
you're here to handle things, right? I wouldn't want to get in the way of your loading process.
funny.
We're here to help, not take your job. Respectful, I
Okay.
thought.
Okay. Guys, grab them. If there's anyone who has something particularly broken, just stay with them. Make sure that nothing's going too bad. EMT should be here within the next 15 minutes. So,
Bastian will point at the one that Lawin brought back. That one might need a diaper.
that, fortunately, is not my problem.
Huh.
No.
See? Making it easy on you.
Always the jokesters, you guys. Any idea what they were after? Any idea why they're on this side of town? I mean, it's
They were
easy to
trying to get
identify.
into that building.
They said
Give me
somebody
a
had
sec.
paid them to get some books.
Thank you. Like, there's an edge to the voice, but like, there's also a level of sincerity with that thank you, as pulls up this high-end tablet, taps a few things. Antiquarian bookstore. Well, it's going to take a while to process, and since you were actually forthcoming with some information, enough for me to get this pulled up, owner's name is a John Martin. I have pretty sneaking suspicion that's an alias of some sort. Um, yeah, John Martin Antiquarian Books, appointments only. So, if you want to find them,
Clearly, they didn't have an
be my
appointment.
guest.
Uh,
Yeah. Just if you could keep it so that your capers are just normal cape stuff and not having goblins and ghoulies involved, I appreciate that. There are already enough people in this city with high blood pressure. I do not need another septuagenarian calling the precinct about demons fighting capes, okay?
we can
So,
only cover half of that
appreciate
equation,
that.
Joe.
Yeah, I do. So, Best of luck if you guys come up with anything. If you find this John Martin, do be a dears and give Barbara a call. Let her know what you find. All right.
Don't worry, Joe. We got your back. Every time.
If you'll excuse me, I will start the processing. Now,
You
if
really
you'll
should
be
put in
so
for that
kind-
vacation, Joe. Just letting you know. I mean, a couple days off. Spend time with the family.
If I told you when it would happen, I'm almost certain it would be denied. So, yes, I put in for vacation. No, you don't get to know. Now,
Fair.
with
That's
that,
good. Good
I
call.
would like to, would you please leave my crime scene?
At your leisure. Let's
well,
roll.
Good to see you again, Joe. Don't forget your medicine.
Waves you off. One of the patrol officers, which you guys have seen around, a officer Chris Stanson, just kind of comes by, waves somewhat sheepishly to all of you. Thanks. And yeah, no, he's right. If you find anything, and he has the sincerity about him that you know, and you can tell by the tone of voice when he says, call Barbara. Barbara's in there, one of the liaison officers for the med department for Paradise PD. One that usually handles liaison stuff with the different metas. She's very by the book, but she's very good. By the tone of Stanson's voice, you can tell that something's been going on that he can't give you more, but Barbara might. As he goes to help one of his fellow officers pick up one of the wreckers that's missing a good portion of the armor. They're intact, but their legs are probably going to be a bruise for the next 2 weeks.
Duly noted,
So
Chris.
Yeah.
I guess we should probably head back to headquarters.
Do some
Alright.
digging on this.
So for transport, in theory, Bastion can help those who don't fly just sort of get there faster. If they're willing, of course.
I mean, I can go pretty good on my own. I don't really like to fly.
You jump 60 feet. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but then I'm in control. It's different.
I mean, you know, Titanica, you do you. Whatever makes you happy. No problem. I got you.
I appreciate the offer.
So, oh yeah, anytime. I mean, I might drop you, so it's fair choice that you made. There's that. So, I'm sorry, I always forget this. Jettica, Jet, Jones, which one do you prefer? I forget.
You can call me Jet for now.
Ah, much appreciated. Thank you again. Does one of those runes happen to find people by chance?
That I have to research and do. I can't do that on the fly. Takes much more concentration than I'm able to do right now.
I totally understand that. Good job, everybody. Wish I helped more. I need to practice. for what it's worth, Bastian, over the last year or so since they all first met, he's the style he's taken on for his Mr. Universe is just been a tailored suit with a button-up shirt, no tie, fedora, and every time he puts the fedora on, the only thing you see are these two sort of um, eye-shaped voids, so starry voids that are where his eyes typically should be. But that's been the outfit that he's taken over the last year. On when they're just around the headquarters, his eyes are actually just pure black with a sort of vortex or almost like a galaxy at the center, sort of swirling where the pupil would be. Aside
Right.
from that, he's about 6'2", muscular, fit guy.
Well, it sounds like you're all heading back to your headquarters.
Yep,
think that's the
at the
plan.
top of the epic.
Yes,
Sorry, before
the epic. Go for it.
Before Lawin leaves the scene, could he just make one sweeping gaze over the scene to see if there are any other clues that he might have missed?
Certainly. Go ahead and give me an investigation.
Investigation, not perception.
Yeah, investigation, since you're trying to get clues. 14. Sweep doesn't give you much, but it does give you this. Less about the wreckers, more about the building. You wouldn't notice it if you were on the ground, but up top, again, you've hung around enough mystical supers in your time, and this is esoteric even by Jet's standards. But you in your travels has seen this symbol before, and it helps explain some of the demons, but doesn't explain all of it. In that it's distinctly some sort of symbol for binding, an esoteric one that's only used by those who truck with the abyss.
Interesting. So, Lawin's going to relay that information to Jettica for future research and reference.
Yeah, like with that, knowing Jettica will go ahead, will pull out. She most certainly has some sort of notepad with her constantly, and just sort of draw it down real quick as a reference.
My question is it a notepad that Stylus gave you?
Yes.
Okay. So the paper responds almost like a giddy puppy to being pulled out and used.
Perfect.
It is happy to receive your information and hold on to it like a stick. And we make our way over to the Epic. One of the high rises, one of the 10 high rises in Paradise City. It used to have the title of tallest, but that was a few decades ago. Still, a beautiful, radiant building, distinct in its nature by swooping curves and purple tinted windows. It has a stark contrast to much of the architecture of Paradise, which has a distinct Art Deco feel. But this was modern by standards decades ago and still quite modern now. Uh, the Epic is always busy, as most of these sort of high rises are, but more so because it has the best breakfast buffet in town. The Green Ronin Cafe, uh, owned and operated by Ken Nakamura, the former Green Ronin, on the first floor, along with the um, museum slash memorabilia factory that he has built a small empire that helps to fund the cafe, which is sort of his way of giving back to the community, as it's a place for a work project for those who need to get back up on their feet. But yeah, no, there's plenty of activity, as there's always cars there. The parking garage nearby is always packed as you all arrive back at your headquarters, which are the top two floors of this massive high rise. So, as with any sort of reveal of a headquarters, I'd love to go around and hear from each of you some details about y'all's headquarters, how it looks, how it feels, and get like a good like 2-page spread on y'all's headquarters. We'll start with Jettica.
So one thing about the headquarters, because it's we have to take the elevator to the top to get to it, and I like to think that the button to get to it is stylized. It has just it's sort of, you can tell that it's different from the rest of the floors. Like, it has some sort of design around the button itself, and there's like some odd raised portions on it. It's almost like a little mountain range on the button itself. Like, not that it's pointing and will hurt you, but it's almost this weird 3D illusion effect to get up to it. And I think that motif kind of continues in the entryway, sort of like this, again, sort of mountain motif through the entryway at least, and then it's sort of divides out into sections as you go further in.
Excellent. Lawin, please add to the descriptions of this place.
So, Lawin doesn't take the elevator for obvious reasons. There is an entrance that is, in fact, only accessible by himself and Mr. Universe at the top of the tower. It's a little bit on the flashy side. It's calls that point the Airy, and well, the landing spot is marble. It's got nice iron railings, and offers probably the best view of the coast.
All right, Titanica.
So there's almost like a very, what seems like it would be a classic like meeting room with like the center table and like a display screen and everything else. It looks like it would be very professional, but one corner is absolutely just one corner of the room is absolutely just covered in stuff. There's like 7 or 8 college textbooks and a laptop and like food wrappers and a bunch of like stacked up comic books, because Titanica doesn't like her roommate, and so spends most of her time here.
All right. And Mr. Universe. Give me a detail.
Mr. Universe has just recently figured out how to fly. So he's been relegated actually to a converted section of the sort of a deck area that wraps around this floor. It's been affixed with some more malleable material. As when he comes in for a landing, the area around it seems to sort of crumple a little bit. And as the gravity he is altering to make himself fly is still a bit wider than he intends it to be. He still comes at a bit of a rough landing, barely catching himself as he stumbles forward a bit. But he just stands up straight. He straightens his suit up a bit, and looks out across the city from where the deck is, before heading into the sort of grand open space that is sort of the common area of the epic, or at least their floor of the epic.
Floors, you guys got the top two. We'll say, was the deck, I just want to ask the team, was the deck one of the gifts that Dr. Danielle Rosenberg has given the team after you guys essentially saved her project?
So Bastian has done well for himself, and he would have worked with her to pay for it. But yeah, it was her science that kind of figured out a type of concrete that could withstand, or at least reassemble a little bit after Bastion's landings.
Excellent. Well, you are all at your humble abode here at the Epic. I am so, Jettica, with the information that Lawin gave you, um, where are you heading in your headquarters? The comms, gathering room, the library?
Library first to go see if, because it's like, because she saw that symbol, and it's just like, okay, that kind of rang a bell, but I wanna go get the Book of the Abyss to double check, because that's her first thing, Book of the Abyss. See if she can.
So for what
zero on, like,
for what it's
okay,
worth, I'm assuming that the library is effectively Jettica's space. Would that be
Effectively, yes.
an incorrect? Yeah. Ever since Bastion got these abilities, he's taken over a section of that, and he's tried to keep it contained, but it is a bit of a mess of books and notes about physics and astrophysics as he's trying to understand what he can do. But it has expanded. He has done full man spread beyond this corner that he initially started with, just making a mess.
I imagine Jettica. It doesn't even like phase Jettica. Jettica's worked at the university for years. More often than not, things are not where she left them. So it's just like, I'll fix it later.
So,
I don't know if you want me to
your
make a roll to
consult-
see if that book is moved, investigation book, but that's what she's looking for.
I think there's enough between Jettica's powers and have gotten to know Bastion's habits that I just see this panel of Jettica like just going to where it should be on the shelf, seeing that it's not present, and then just a hand reaching out, and then all of a sudden, next panel, the book just levitates into Jettica's hands. And yeah, give me a expertise magic roll
Absolute moon.
to find the information you were seeking.
26.
Whew, we're getting some strong rolls today, folks. Hint, hint.
I will
might need some
science
help.
this magic if it takes everything I have.
So
That's the crap.
Like, I imagine even the tagging she did to like have the book come back to her, it's still in Dewey Decimal. Like, it's magic activated, like it's their Dewey Decimal. Wild.
Well
100%.
played.
so much.
Well played.
So you're consulting the Book
My
of the Abyss.
favorite touch.
And yeah, no, it's a binding symbol. It is one definitely used by those who truck with the Abyss. More troublesome is the servitors to whom it binds. Those demons were servants of the archdemon Elizabethixis, like one of the queens of the Abyss, like heavy hitter. He who
Can you say
torments,
that name again?
like Elizabethixis. So think Eliza and then Trixus. Trixus. So yeah, no, whoever this John Martin is has or had or inherited someone who had significant mystical cachet or is in way over their head.
And
Like,
neither one of those
this is
good.
deep in abyssal magics.
Well, that's a problem. And Jettica will go ahead and relay this information to everybody else after putting the book back where it's supposed to be. Like, I imagine everybody still has a few moments to do other things because she's still just like, okay, I found it. Now I have to reorganize again. It's gonna bother her.
The library is going to come alive and start playing tricks on you. Move the books on its own.
Books know better. Those books know
By
better.
this point, yes. Oh, I just figured out what her next issue is. Okay, we're good.
I love hearing it. Whilst Jettica is in the midst of organizing, this is where I would like to get just like a little bit of slice of life panels from the other members of the team. So, what's Lawin up to as Jettica's reorganizing?
So Lawin's probably at the headquarters supercomputer, and he's trying to dig into real estate records to try to determine the ownership of the building and its history. See if you can find any clues to sort of chase down that direction.
Considering that you're using the supercomputer, I'll give you a choice. You can either give me an investigation check or a technology check.
We'll go with investigation since that's his higher skill.
Go for it. 25. This computer, while it's not immediately familiar when you first came here, you have quickly familiarized yourself with its ins and outs. It wasn't set up precisely how you would have. There were a few esoteric like changes, but that's to be expected with, dimensional travel. But you have taken enough time and effort to get things back to where you feel they should be. And with that, just a few keystrokes allows you to gain access to public records, cross-reference, and give you a solid history of the location. It currently belongs to a John Martin of John Martin Antique Books. And they're a licensed antiquarian bookseller, appointments only. The building is, considering there's a lot of old architecture in Paradise City, this is relatively new. building was built back roughly a decade ago. And before John Martin moved in, he wasn't the first tenant. He was the second. First was a dentist office, vast one, sort of a dental conglomerate, if you will. And that just has the name Titan Teeth, was the previous owner. Name doesn't necessarily ring any bells, but strange name. Definitely cashing in on, you know, the meta craze. But yeah, no. Aside from that, nothing much. It originally belonged to a local real estate magnate. Titan Teeth was leasing it, but just 2 years after Martin leased the property, he bought it. And so it's all in his name.
It's weird. So I think following that path, Lawin's going to start digging into Martin's background.
We'll keep the same role. John Martin didn't exist until 2 decades ago. And then became a fully fledged human being. And the thing is, everything is detailed. Like, I cursory glance, you wouldn't expect the cops to realize this. But because of your experience, you know that some things, also digging into like databases, no, this is an elaborate fabrication. Like deep elaborate fabrication. But no, he didn't exist until 20 years ago. And then just came in as a whole individual. But they've also been rather quiet. Like, they barely have a social media footprint. Like, they have just enough that at cursory glance, they seem like a person. But in going through details of like banking records and whatnot, there's not a lot here. There are solid payments for things, excellent credit score, kind of too good. Like, everything is just a little too clean.
I was going to say that credit score would have been like the thing going to be just like, oh, my credit score is 900. That's not a person.
Like, everything's just a bit too good, too clean. The only thing that else that I'll give you is that there are regular payments and intervals with credit cards. One, for the Green Ronin buffet, there are charges there every Sunday. It's Friday. And then there are regular charges for dance equipment, of all things. Monthly. So with that, Titanica, what are you up to?
When she sort of settles down back in the base, she will actually take her mask off. She's not particularly careful with her identity because there aren't that many women who are 6'11". And then she will sort of sit down in her little nook and like put on her glasses and get on her laptop and start hitting up like the random magic contacts that she has made over the past couple of years, just passively in town, and basically just like asking people like, "Hey, have you ever dealt with this dude? What's his deal?"
Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so bad at that.
Bad, but not terrible. Bad, but not terrible. A lot of folks that you know of just sort of go, don't know him. That some go, that has to be an alias. But someone goes, okay, if you really want to find deets on this guy, you probably need to go to Millennium. You
All right.
you need
Thanks for
you
the
need to
tip.
go to Millennium and probably get an audience with one of the revelry. It's gonna, and they say in all caps, it's gonna suck. But if you seriously need the info, that's where I'd go.
Thanks for the info. I owe ya.
Thumbs up milkshake emoji. And then let's find out what Mr. Universe is up to. Bastian, what are you doing in this moment?
So how known is this place as our headquarters?
Oh, it's known.
It is perfect.
Yeah, you guys are. I'll put it this way: this is a city known. The heroes have been around for a while. There was the meta boom of the 1930s. That's when heroes were just showing up by the wazoo. Paradise City has a number of other heroes that call it home, though this is more of a retirement destination for those in the meta community. The weather is lovely, the food's good, and people are rather non-obtrusive about your past. They just go, "Oh, you're cool," and they might ask for like an autograph, not even a selfie. They're not that obtrusive. So a lot of the metas come and retire here. But you guys are well known. Like, you're one of like maybe 5 teams that work the city.
All right. On the way back from the fight, he had put in an order on Grub Eats to have buffet from the Green Ronin delivered to the headquarters. So he's just shortly after landing walks in and takes off his hat and jacket and immediately goes to the door to grab the food that's waiting there. At which point he has amassed a collection of aluminum cans, either by beer cans, soda cans, just you name it. Like, he's just amassed them, and they're a mixture of completely crushed, like paper thin, to like partially crushed, to exploded, like just all variations in a little section of the the main area that he's kind of claimed, for lack of a better term. And so he just takes the food over there, and he's just eating as cans will just sort of half-heartedly float in the air and crush and then fall, and like he'll try and grab a few of them at the same time, and like two will crumple, and then the one will just fly off in a direction and be like, oh, sorry about that, miscalculation, my apologies. On one side of him is a mathematics and a physics book, as he's not so focused on it, but he periodically will sort of look over at it and read a few lines and just sort of grumble at this predicament that he's been put in with these powers. But yeah, and he's just staring out the window while doing all of these random things.
Okay.
Anybody hungry? I've got some extra food here if you want some.
Well, I mean, I guess
Just go for it.
I could eat.
Good on you. Have
Almost
at it.
done.
Thank you for being so smart. I appreciate you.
I can just see with almost done, we get like a panel of like the books like closing and just like leaping onto the shelf where they're supposed to go. As
100%.
we see Jettica just walking through the door, as one just kind of slows down. We get the eye back, and then it just goes into where it's supposed to go.
Good enough for now. All right. Well, Lawin, do you normally go by Lawin or Lon? Sorry, go ahead.
It's Lawin.
Lawin. I did some research on that somebody told me, and I get the feeling either John Martin is a big magical power that we didn't know about, or is in way over their head. That symbol stems from, and she'll go into the whole thing that we just went over. Yeah. So, archdemon, so on and so forth.
Oh. I'm not even sure if John Martin exists. And he just holds up a file of all the information he had pulled together. He does have a shop, antiquarian stuff. I think it's worth poking around into, but we would have to schedule one. So this is actually going to require a bit of cover.
Curiouser.
And if we want to try digging on the back end, we could go talk to the revelry, but I don't want to go talk to the revelry.
At the Millennium Club? That place gives me a headache. None of their drinks are in order.
That place is awesome.
You would think so. To each their own.
Good times.
Bastian,
so did I hear
something?
Well, I was going to ask what we're doing next, and then I heard archdemon. I got super nervous because anything with the word arch in it is terrible. Except maybe the Arc de Triomphe. That's not too bad.
It's not really bad.
I mean, have you ever been flat-foot? It's uncomfortable. Arches are not friendly.
So are flat feet better, or arches?
Is that why you avoid McDonald's so much?
Exactly. Ronald, he's coming to get us, man.
I do hate clowns.
Not dealing with that. So, should we try and make an appointment?
Archdemon?
Or should we...
Is an archdemon as bad as it sounds?
An archdemon
not great.
Not to be trifled with, for certain.
We're going to be trifling with one, aren't we?
Sounds like it. Not that would be my preference.
Maybe if we're lucky, maybe just like an
Goatee.
agent of an archdemon, like a subcommittee stuff.
Or like a sleazy
Maybe.
lawyer guy?
I
Almost surely.
think this is going to be a lose-lose, because either we'll be dealing with one directly or trampling on one's plan, but it needs to get done. So, consequences be darned.
Trifling it is.
So
So
where
I
do
guess
you
the
all
decision
start?
we have.
Well, it's going to look suspicious if we go in as a group of 4, so I think we should go 2 and 2. One to the Millennium Club to find out some information. And the other 2 go down to schedule an appointment at the store.
I claim Millennium. I got the
I'll
club.
go to the Millennium
I
Club.
got it.
I
We got
don't
it.
lie well. I don't.
See, Lawin is sitting there tapping his shin, and he's thinking, does he want the 2 rookies to go to the Millennium Club?
I mean, I don't think it takes
Lawin, I
that
can-
long to make a call, to make an appointment. So we could make the appointment. Decide who gets to go, and then also I'll go to the Millennium Club. Again, not my preference, but probably safest considering the area.
Lawin, I can see the look on your face. I can hear those gears going. It's just a club. The best part is no one can do anything. Go there, you have some drinks, little dancing. You know, ain't nothing but a thing.
So Lawin is
Easy to
just
say for somebody who's
sitting there, and he's
bulletproof
thinking,
everywhere else.
Lawin is just thinking, yeah, no, just because you can't use your powers and no one can use their powers doesn't mean that they can't do it.
Yeah.
Plus, he
There's a
knows who
saying,
the head owner of the revelry is, and he's thinking, oh man, she's going to eat him alive.
I mean,
Because
what
folks won't realize
Bastion?
is that
okay. Words of power?
Words
Words are
have power.
Have power.
Yes.
Pen, mightier sword. Got it. I'm tracking. My words will be so powerful, I can assure you.
That's not exactly. We're all going to go to the club together. We will make a phone call for the appointment. That's what's
I
going to
thought
be
you didn't want
safest.
like all of us going into the one place all at once. That doesn't make any sense.
I think it's best we all go.
You are, in fact, the smartest among us. I will wholly trust your judgment.
So, who's placing the phone call?
If no one objects, Jet will place the phone call.
You place the phone call. Again, this is a private antiquarian book collector store. Everything is automated. Everything is an automated voice. Like, you go, and for appointments, press 4.
Beep.
We are open for customers on Tuesday through Friday between the hours of 2 p.m. to midnight. Please schedule at least an hour for consult. Press the numbers to make your appointment.
6-8.
And using numbers to designate day, please input, like it's all this just series of input. No.
Jet actually seems pretty happy going through all this. It's just like, oh, it all makes sense for once. No translating esoteric text. It's just all Jet looks
So-
oddly satisfied after this phone call.
So
Best phone
yeah,
call ever.
afterwards, again, today is Friday, so it'd be multiple days out to get you guys your appointment, but it is set. And now,
Would it be possible to set it on Sunday, since that's the day from Lawin's investigation we know they always go to the restaurant, or would it be or is Sunday unavailable? Because you said, did they say Tuesday to Friday was available, or
Tuesday through Friday is when they're available. They're
okay, so
closed 3 days a
so
week.
Sunday's when okay, so never mind. So probably for the next Tuesday. Okay, whatever will work.
Yeah. All right. So, how do you go about finding the club this time? This place is always moving, different theme.
Going by Bastian's suggestion earlier, I think Jet would sort of, can she now use ritualistic to use some sort of location rune thing, even if it's a living room, just like, okay, like, by this sliver of rhythm from the moon, guide the way towards Club Faboon, something along those lines. I don't know.
You can give it a shot. Let's take the expertise magic roll. See what comes in.
I'm gonna roll badly one of these times. Not this time.
26. Okay. So, good news. You found the location. Bad news. It's somehow in the Hall of Mirrors over in Wonderland.
Right.
So, double whammy. You have to pay to get into Wonderland, and then you have to pay to get into the club.
Fantastic. Well, where it is, and again, laying the information. So, I
Wait,
guess we all better.
Wonderland?
Yes.
What?
All of me is in
Again?
Wonderland.
That's like the third time this month. They must have a deal going on. Shysters.
How often do you go?
On
Not
the
my
regular?
business. Never mind.
I mean, did you want to go? I'm more than happy to
No,
bring some.
not.
I didn't
Thank
think it
you.
was your jam. Yeah,
It
it's
is
fine.
not. I like peanut butter. It's fine. Let's go.
Oh, peanut butter is good stuff. I haven't had a PB&J in forever.
Nope, just peanut butter. No
If
jelly.
it's in
Oh,
Wonderland, does anybody mind if we stop for funnel cake on the way? Just
so
throwing
good.
it out there.
Sure. I'll just.
The apple funnel
We'll
cake
make a
season,
regular
that's my
field trip
favorite.
out of it. Nope, that's fine. Suddenly
about
reminded
everyone
of my
funnel
camp
cake?
counselor days. Yep.
So, with a lot of groaning, we turn the page, and we see the entranceway to Wonderland. It is a sort of park slash boardwalk near the beach. You can see in the distance a large wooden roller coaster. Um, it is titled the Wild Ride. Wild with an E, curiously enough. And it has all of your boardwalk necessities. It's got ice cream. It's got all sorts of carnival games, funnel cake. It has a haunted house, um, a gravitron, all sorts of tilt-a-whirl. It's a place where folks spend $20 to get in, and then have their day at the boardwalk. You guys get in and make your way to the Hall of Mirrors. And as you're going in with all the distortion, one, there's not a lot of people at the hall. That's kind of be to expected. Um, the Wonderland does have a good number of people there due to it being a Friday night. Um, but you guys go in, and eventually, as you're walking through the Hall of Mirrors, you all just get slightly disoriented. And then, when you finally get your bearings back, you find yourselves in the club. Um, it is well appointed, large dance floor, disco ball. It looks like the theme is, at least at this time, is like under the sea themed. Like there's a bunch of jellyfish lights all over the place. Um,
Sorry, is it like the Back to the Future prom scene?
Not quite. A little more tasteful, just a little more. That and a number of the decorations also seem to not just be decorations. Those jellyfish are definitely moving. Um, and you definitely, even with the music thumping, hear waves, the fluttering of schools of fish. Like the acoustics here are strange. But yeah, no, it's a happening time, but it's still early in the afternoon, early evening, so it's not crowded yet.
Um,
But
the moment
the VIP
the moment
section
Bastion
is
enters. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, the VIP section is already full though, and you know if a member of the revelry is present, and they usually are, that's where they'll be.
The moment Bastion enters, he, while admittedly disoriented like everyone else, there is an immediate weight lifted off his shoulders once he gets his bearings, and he absolutely just sort of walks in doing a little jig, dancing to the beat, walking down the hallway into the main area. Anybody want drinks? Drinks? Anybody? Yes? No? No? No?
And Titanica has the exact opposite reaction. You can, as they enter, you can literally watch her sort of hunch forward and slump down a little bit.
Are you all right, dear?
Yeah, I'm just not used to having to move this much without super strength.
Fair enough.
Jet? Lawin? Drinks? Yeah? No? Maybe? Huh? On me. I got you.
Well, Lawin sort of just walked in pretty independently. Uh, you know, he's got that been there, done that attitude, and he's just glancing around at faces, looking for someone in particular.
And Jet just
Got
says,
She's not present.
"No
no drink for
drinking on
you.
the job for me."
Got. All right. That's fair. Good and responsible. I'm not going to do that.
Hence, I said for me. You're your own person.
I know. Lawin, you scan the area. Good news is you don't see her. Bad news. Chatting up a member of the revelry, one of her friends, part of the group. is the current summer night. And he's a little bit of a hothead.
'Cause summer.
Summer nights. Boom.
But he seems to be having a good time and doesn't want business getting in the way of his pleasure. So, getting that audience is going to be dicey.
Bastian is going straight to the bar, grabbing a drink there, immediately heading towards the VIP.
The glasses are all tiki themed this time. You have your giant, tall blue dolphin filled with zombie, and are making your way to the VIP lounge. Anyone going to try and get in Bastian's way or stop him before he enters
Yes,
the VIP lounge?
100%. And Bastian. Perhaps the direct approach is not the best.
What?
Because what do you let me ask this: what are you going to say when you get to the VIP section? You have a plan.
Yes, I do. The VIP section has the best seats in the building. I was gonna sit my butt on one of them.
That's not a plan. That's an observation of objective fact. What's your plan to get into the section? Besides just
your focus and attention to detail are really admirable, Bastian. That's what I appreciate about you.
Well, I mean, I've been in there before.
No. Let this play out. Kid's got to learn something.
I pay for a membership.
You're a VIP member?
Yeah. As soon as I got these powers, I immediately bought a membership. What are you kidding? This is the best club in town.
And you didn't say anything?
No one asked. I don't...
So,
okay.
Drink?
No, I think.
I mean, the look on your face says.
Right now.
Oh, that's fair.
No.
Yep.
That's good. So, is your membership just good for you, or can you have an entourage?
No, y'all can come if you want. I wasn't sure if you were like all business and didn't really want to associate with little old me.
That's not. We're teammates. Why would we not want to associate?
Well, I mean, if you're business, you know, I get it. You got a thing that you got to do.
That involves
but
VIP section. We can connect some dots here. Okay.
Is the person you want to talk to in the VIP?
Yes. The revelry. That's where they'd be. Were you just going there to go there?
No.
Why do you think we came here?
No, I was not. I knew we came to talk to somebody.
Someone?
I couldn't remember the name off the top of my head. The music was really good, and I mean, I didn't do so well at the last thing, and so
Herbal bath.
But
lemonade,
I knew we were here.
Honey, rosemary.
Okay. I can make you some tea when we get back, and
that would be lovely. So how about we go up as members of your entourage? To get into anyone who wants. I guess at this point, Jet would probably look over her shoulder and see that Lawin is kind of not with us. I assume because you're still kind of independent somewhere else, or were you still with our group in general?
I mean, he's around, but let's be real.
Okay.
Lawin it looks and appears to be in his mid 40s. The idea that he would be in the entourage of uh, someone like Bastian is
Muscle.
kind of not a big deal. It isn't really going to be good for his image. Um, Lawin's kind of a.
She's trying to figure out, do you want to be included as part of like the, I guess technically not ruse or not?
I mean, what ruse is there? I mean, the revelry knows who Lawin is.
Well, I was going to say just like,
One of
oh,
the
make up
revelry
that
is.
we're part of the. You you can walk with us or not. That's your choice. Um, we go up there. Why don't we do Titanica? Is that good with you? We walk up with Bastian, who has a VIP membership that now we know of.
Yeah, fine, I guess.
So you make your way up to the velvet rope. A radiantly beautiful individual is there. They smile, revealing a mouthful of what could be best described as sea lion teeth. As you make your way to the rope, uh, Mr. Box, always good to see you. Are they with you?
Hey, Susie, how you doing? Yeah, they're with me.
Excellent.
These zombies you guys got going on tonight, they're top notch.
Yeah, we need to get all the zombie out before October.
I see what you did. Wait, is this gonna... You know what? I'm not gonna ask. It's fine.
Best you don't. Have fun.
Yep. Will do.
Lets you on through. There's a bunch of like exceptionally well appointed booths, like large circular booths. Um, very plush, unnaturally so. Everything has this sort of velvet green color. And there is one table, it's definitely one that Mr. Bucks frequents, probably even noted as his, that is open. The rest are all full. But in the center of the VIP lounge, there is sort of like an elevated dais with another one of a circular booth, high backed, and you can see them just walking in. They're sitting, passing back and forth pleasantries. Is Levion, one of the members of the revelry, in all of their finery. Large rack of horns, like deer's horns, adorning their head. Lounging in, like the most high end beachwear one could purchase in this town. Whilst entertaining a much rougher looking gentleman. To put not too fine a point on it, if a bear in Braun Strowman had a kid, this gentleman would probably be that offspring. Just like maybe 4 inches shorter than Titanica and broader. and trying to look like he's fine wearing this nice three-piece suit, and definitely trying to hold the attention of his friend.
You probably have a different name for this character, but this character forever and always will be Bear Strowman in my notes. Just so you know. Permanently.
I like the idea that their nickname is just, aside from Summer Night, is the Bear.
That works too.
Like, I am all here for that.
So, how does this work? What do we? I've never done this before.
That's up to you guys to figure out. And thank you, Madev, for that donation for a pair of heroes. Getting just a little help. So, actually, with that being said, and considering where we're going, I'll leave it to... Actually, here. I will take one little help. And then, since you've all been rolling so exceptionally well, and then I'll let you decide amongst the four of you who else gets the other help.
I say Lawin.
He does kind of seem to be the grown-up.
All right, old man. It looks like you got the help.
Let's
I
face
mean,
it,
Lawin is sort of
is
just
really the
hanging
one who's
back,
gonna
and he's like,
just...
Sorry, Lawin's just hanging back, is leaning casually against one of the pillars or something like that. He's just, oh, no. I want to see how you work this. It's kind of like the way Bruce Lee was like in Game of Death, where he was hanging back, and the other folks that accompanied him would, just go right in, and thinking they're all hotshots and have this covered.
I mean, I was mostly thinking because this is probably the highest stress for you out of all the characters here, but your call.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Lawin's going to be carrying the weight here, at least for Bastian, without a doubt.
Oh. Do you guys approach?
Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Do you all
So, yeah, Bastian looks at Jet. So, so how does it usually work? Do we just kind of go up and say hi? Do you schmooze? I mean,
actually,
can
Jet
wait about?
Go ahead.
Wait about 10 seconds and then come up and just. I hope I don't get hurt. I hate getting hurt when it's like this. All right, and then I will just walk over immediately towards the bear.
Go team.
Okay.
And I'll be like, oh my god, somebody else, listen, how terrible is the architecture in this town? I am so tired of hitting my forehead on everything. You have to, please commiserate with me on this.
He's the best.
I want
really,
you
really
to
like
roll
her.
persuasion.
I can safely say that is not what I expected.
I appreciate her. I appreciate her a lot.
Oh. Now is a wonderful time to explain hero points.
But this could have gone better.
Hero points are amazing in this system in that they let you re-roll, and the minimum you can get plus your modifier is 10. So would you like to spend your hero point, or do you want to let it ride?
It's probably a good time for me to spend it here. So yeah, I'll go ahead and take a reroll.
Excellent choice.
That's better.
17 is indeed significantly better. I'm just going to do a quick little roll here. I just want to get an idea of disposition. Like, the bear turns and looks at you, and you can tell that they definitely don't want to be looking at you when they initially turn, but they lock eyes with you and they notice just how tall you are. And then, like, 2 beats later, your sentence actually is registered by them, and he goes, "Yeah, this town is just not made for people like us. Come on, have a seat."
Thanks.
In
I'll
for
take a
the
seat.
win. Oh, Titanica.
That
I
went
Well
much
played.
haven't
better
seen
than
you
I
here
expected.
before. Are you? Who you're with?
I came in here with Bastian. He's a friend I know around.
Oh, the nerd.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guess it can't be all bad. Um. So, again, I haven't really seen you around here, but to be fair, I only come here on occasion. Uh,
I don't generally come here often because it's a little uncomfortable. Um, I don't
yeah,
normally, I'm kind of used to being a little more.
the Fae leans in, and I want you to make a will check.
Oof.
Hey.
Oh.
You are not unnerved, as again, it's one thing to see at a distance, but another to see an entity whose form is just, it's too perfect. Like beyond uncanny valley, too perfect. Like features you would more likely see in a dream than in reality. And they just languidly lean over and to the bear, to the summer night, just goes, "Oh, she's been in town. She's part of those capes. Live over at the Epic. They're interesting. You know, Lawin's group? Oh, this one. Uh, yeah, sure." You have to excuse him, dear. He is what he is. You obviously aren't necessarily here to exchange pleasantries with my overly large friend, though it seems like you two have hit it off, so by all means, but if you're here and the other 3 and the 5th is definitely not here, good call. Um, you want something.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty astute. We encountered a bit of a mystery man, and I found out through some back channels that you might know a little more about him than the public. So uh, somebody's tracking with some deep stuff, and we thought we might come and try and see if you'd be willing to help us out.
when you say deep stuff, there's a smile that is deeply unnerving. You are able to hold your own, but like eyes digging into your soul to find precisely how they can hurt you. Just look at you. Trucking with deep stuff. Fantastic. So, no, that would be in bad taste, as much as it would be pleasant. And a good paying member has standing, even though you're not one, you're a friend. More's the pity. So, you want information, and you're new to this. I hate this. But laws are laws, and good standing is good standing. Why don't you have the nerd come over here and we'll properly deal?
I will wave to the two of them. I'm not sure who she meant by the nerd, so I will just like signal to the two of them.
That's as a Bastion, but you know what? That's fair. Well, Jed will also go over there.
So you come up. I want both of you to give me will checks.
Yep. Do. No!
And you already spent the hero point.
I already did. Already did.
Oh, okay. We'll get to Bastion being able to just like not care, but from one storyteller to another, this goes badly for Jet.
Yeah, it does.
I want to know how it goes badly.
So I imagine one of the reasons why Jet's not a big fan of the Millennium Club is, as established, Jet likes studying things and making sure things stay in their place. The Millennium Club is forever changing. So one thing is that like Jet's fascinated and wants to learn about it, but she never can properly because it's always shifting. So I imagine there's like, so as she's kind of like walking over there, kind of like stutter steps and stops in motion. Cause I want to say like briefly, she can sort of see into like that fourth dimension, and she's transfixed and can't act anymore. Like she's just transferred, but just like I, I've never how she's fixated on it.
I'm going to give you. I want to make a bargain.
Okay.
I will give you an additional hero point for next issue if I get to take what you've given me and make it worse.
Yes. Deal.
Gotta love it. So you become transfixed as you are traveling through this extra dimensional space. And Jet's gone. Like, you all blink, and Jet's just gone.
Well,
And
poop on a
I rolled
stick.
a nat 1 in a Fey Club. That is totally fair.
Yeah, oh yeah.
like,
It's probably fine.
The hedge has
Probably
come.
fine.
and the
Fine.
the Fae as Bastion comes up, and just before you realize Jet is missing, The Fae lets out the widest grin. Wider than their face should be able to accommodate. As Bastian arrives. So, Bastian, your wonderful friend here says that you are looking for information on someone who trucks with deep magics.
Oh. Well, yeah, that's what it seems like so far. One side question, oh beauty of beauties. What happened to my compatriot?
Oh, they're fine. Don't worry about it.
So I can appreciate that the term fine might be a bit of a language barrier between you and I. I really would like to understand what you mean by fine.
Mortals and your words.
Uh-huh.
There's many definitions of fine. I will say this.
Yeah.
They are inconvenienced. They will not be harmed.
Okay, that's a good start. Lady of ladies, beautiful as you are, when can we have my compatriot back?
That's not up to me.
Oh. Well, that's a bit disturbing. Okay, so there's a Mr. Martin who has apparently been trucking with some rather dubious books. The mill, so to speak, says that he passes through here once in a while. But do you know anything about this bloke?
That's not how this works, my young friend. You have to
Well,
give
I could always
something
try.
to get something.
I mean, you took my friend.
Oh, I didn't take your friend.
Of course you didn't. Okay. My apologies. Didn't mean to accuse. Well, that's fair. What is the typical exchange for information?
There are many exchanges. It's usually best that you offer something of value.
All right. I've got a gorgeous New Year Jaguar that that I got. Let's just say, you're more than welcome to have that if you like.
Material goods are fleeting.
Yeah, all right. This is where I trade you my fondest memory of the first love. Is that how this particular scenario works?
It might impress one of my friends, but I'm not very interested in pleasant memories.
Oh, do you want
could trade
my
arcane
nightmare?
knowledge. Oh, wait.
yeah. That's why he's not mentioning that. I mean, I didn't roll the one.
No, I know. That's something. That's. I did not make my sacrifice to the dice gods. That's my fault.
I could give you. I mean, we could talk a nightmare if that's your preference. I don't know. Just a side note. Do we have sub vocal communicators or anything like that? Is that how we talk to each other?
No. You mortals like your words.
Well, you know, I
As
mean,
they
it's
stand, they lean and get a little taller. Let's talk nightmares.
oh well, all right. Let's do that.
You endure some nightmares, and they'll give you the information you seek.
All right.
That smile returns.
If you think you can toss something at me, feel free.
Oh,
Don't,
I'm
child. What
not
are
the
you
one
doing?
tossing. But nightmares you will have in exchange for your information. They lean back.
How long?
Just, oh, that's up to the nightmares.
All right.
They just drape back, relax, smile. John, you're looking for John.
Before you give us information, I would like to clarify something real quick. For as long as I have nightmares, you will give us information as we ask for it, and it is available to you. Once the nightmare chooses to stop with me, that's when we can stop exchanging.
Not quite. You accepted the nightmares. I'm giving you the information about John. You mentioned a Martin. I will give you all the information you want on Martins. They are very interesting creatures. Lovely, absolutely lovely. And I can tell you about Martins until you die, mortal. I will give you information about John. You will endure the nightmares.
John Martin, owner of an antiquities books, I think it is.
Yes, that's his current profession. He was a villain for a while. Went by the name of the Despoiler. He's the one that retired the Green Ronin. Made Ronin realize he was too slow. But
Oh, that's harsh.
it's truth. But shortly after retiring the Green Ronin, John had a change of heart. Went clean. Decided to get into trading in bits, baubles, and information. He's secretive. He always has been. Bit of a disappointment, really. Well, he's not hard to find if you know where to look. I mean, he's literally under your noses every Sunday. And then, well, you can make an appointment. He usually keeps them. Or if you are very much in a hurry and have to see him right now, he takes dance lessons 3 times a week over at Klein Dance Studio. It's over towards downtown. If you need to see him this evening, I believe he's taking jazz classes.
You like good jazz?
I appreciate the movement of the mortal form.
All right. Clyde's dance studio? Is that right?
Yes, if you need to see him immediately. Of course, you could always
Excellent.
talk to his old rival if you just want information.
Good to know. You, Beauty of Beauties, have been very helpful.
Always glad to help out a VIP.
Oh, I can imagine. This club. Good times.
Mhm.
Does this conclude our business?
He looks to Titanica. Did you have any questions?
Not for her, but I was gonna ask the bear where he gets his suits, because I've been going to our Antonio and Sons, and he always shorts me on the quad space. But that's probably not your business.
No, I understand the need. Mine was bought for me. The princess prefers when I go out that I am properly appointed.
That makes
How
sense.
However, I can get you, I think, and in a moment of like, Lawin, this man tears through people like a whirlwind, but with their giant meaty hands fumbling through their suit, this is an entirely new light on the summer night, as they have turned from possibly one of the most terrifying individuals on this plane in existence to an awkward giant. Goes through, pulls out a wallet, and this is the tailor that the princess uses.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Take
Hope
care.
I get to catch you again. You seem to be in a hurry.
Well, I think we're kind of on mission, but if you ever see me around, feel free to say hi.
Oh, I will. Good luck.
Thanks. Okay,
So
now
what
I'm
do you
done.
do now?
You good? All right. Bastian will just sort of chuckle and smile. Start walking away. If Titanic is following, he'll just kind of look up.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
You have got some serious game going on. Well done. Well done indeed.
I think I just got lucky. I'm not usually very good at talking to people.
Nah, you owned that one. You owned that one. Well done. Cheers to you.
Thanks.
Do you want to be the one to tell Lawin that we lost? Do you want to tell Lawin that we lost Jettica?
I mean, he's been watching the whole time, so.
Bastian doesn't necessarily realize this.
We should probably reconvene and have a chat about it.
All right.
It'll be fine.
I'm not the one that lost. I'm not the one that lost her, right? I mean, it wasn't anyone's fault that she just. I mean, I really think Lawin's just gonna punch me in the face, to be honest.
I mean, also, it does occur to me though, we might be handling this from the wrong angle, because like Martin was tracking with the Abyss, like we knew that, so maybe that's all old hat, but we maybe should be focusing on the people who tried to pay to steal secrets from him, because they might have more nefarious intentions.
Bastian just walks in front of Titanic and just stops. I need you to never bring that concept up again. I just going to be putting myself through nightmares. So I'm gonna have
what
not
if it was all
heard
for
that.
Nothing? Don't you want to think about that?
I'm gonna have not heard that.
For nothing?
I appreciate you, Titanica. You are really smart. Please don't bring that up again.
Maybe I'll talk a lot about it later.
That's fine. He takes a really big gulp off of his drink. really big. Ah, sleep, perchance to dream. Huh?
And as you
Yeah,
quote
I guess.
Shakespeare, Jettica re-emerges.
Good news.
Bad news. Which do you want first?
Can Lawin do an insight check and basically assess Jettica when she reappears?
Please.
Oh, that's not good. We critically failed that. Actually, no. I'm going to use my advantage.
He's
I'm going to use
fine.
my luck to reroll.
Okay, go for it.
Oh, of course you've got luck. Damn it.
17.
Okay, 17. Better. And on the note of 17, it is in fact Jettica. They probably have no idea where they went. They definitely went somewhere. How long they were there? We will, well, unless Jettica remembers. Well, no, not likely. What precisely happened? That's actually just give me a straight up intelligence check there, Lawin. Okay. You have transited the blind eternities between realms. Jettica fell through a crack temporarily and got burped back here. But unlike you, that's sort of like metaphysically transits, Jettica physically transited temporarily between dimensions. This can very well be just a hiccup in the cosmological, makeup of reality. Or this could be cataclysmically bad. Like big Twinkie bad. What's worse is you're not going to know for a while. Though you
So,
might be going to track down somebody who could tell you.
You'll just see the Telltale Games alert go and say, Lawin will take note of this.
So you are all reunited, and it feels so awkward. Where are you guys headed? Are you staying in the club? You making a rush out to Klein's? What you doing?
I would like to not be here. I don't know where we're going. As I just want it to not be here.
I may want to move in. Perhaps the alcohol will deaden my feelings against the nightmare.
Well, but how would you move in here when you're already on the cross?
Jettica,
No, I'm sorry, that was
mean.
I apologize.
No, that's touche. That's touche.
And now you're here. That's all you currently remember.
Hey, Jet. How are you doing?
I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Okay, not really, but that's fine.
All right. Is everyone else ready to go? Do you have any more business?
No, business is included.
Just the
Lawin?
bar, but that's fine. Music's good too, but it's okay. We can go. There's a thing that we gotta do. I get it.
Let's go then, Jettica believes.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Lawin, how you doing? Did you have a good time? Enjoy the music? Have a drink? I'll take that as a no.
Lawin is just going to quirk his eyebrow and lead the way out.
I mean, I know this might be a pressing thing, but I kind of feel bad interrupting his dance lessons. Maybe we could just wait.
I mean,
Well, can we check our messages?
if
and
by
see if
dance
the
lesson you mean the
appointment was made?
wallflower, I'm not sure what he was learning exactly.
He was taking jazz.
Well,
It's difficult.
Oh,
guys, get outside.
So
You do not walk out
when
of
Bastian-
the Hall of Mirrors.
Oh, that's good.
when you walk out, you end up coming out of a side alley downtown, and across the street is Klein's dance studio.
I mean, I guess that answers that. Oh, damn it, I didn't get my funnel cake.
When Bastian leaves and his powers return, there's this weird effect where like all of the material, that clothing and just physical materials seem to kind of begin to separate and sort of float outward as small little tendrils of energy are sort of clinging. And then you can tell he kind of focuses. It's almost like he's flexing something. Everything just sort of goes back to the way it was.
All right. So you're across the street from Klein's dance studio. Lights are on.
Hey,
It definitely feels later in the evening. You check your electronic devices. You went into Wonderland at late afternoon, early evening. It is now 9:30 p.m. on the dot as you check. And
This is why I don't like going into that club.
I mean, it's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, this particular visit not necessarily the highlight of my times at the club, but so I'm just want to make sure
Is this why you're
got you all the
always
information.
late to meetings? That would explain a lot.
I mean, let's not. We've got more important things to talk about. So over there is a dance studio. That's where our boy Martin, Mr. Martin, is at. As a side note, he's also known, or was also known, as the Despoiler. Do I have that right, Titanica? Despoiler?
Yeah, that's what they said.
All right, good. So known as the Despoiler, the guy who got Ronan to, put up his
Retire. I recall.
Well, yeah. But then, like shortly after that, apparently he turned a new leaf, retired himself. I guess he goes. I mean, according to
They can't be
Lawin,
that
right?
unfriendly if he goes
apparently
there every
goes to
week.
the. Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of interesting. So we've got a couple of routes we can take here. We can go talk to Ronan, or
Ken Nakamura.
totally spaced on his last name. Mr. Nakamura, and ask him, or we can interrupt this poor man's dance lesson. He's learning jazz, by the way. I mean, not bad.
We could wait until he's done.
Does Jettica know if the Despoiler, I assume it's the villain we've heard of before? And if we have, does Jettica remember, did the Despoiler have a magic-based power set or not?
go ahead and, again, this is in our expertise magic, considering his impact on the world previous.
Come on! What is happening? What is
You
happening?
use
Can I
it
roll
all
a
up.
history check? Could I use a history check to see if I know this?
You can use a history check, but I want to describe in this moment that Jettica, you're going through your memory and you're trying to remember the despoiler. And in that precise moment, we just cut to a panel of ruby red lips being drawn back to a smile, fanged human teeth, dripping with blood. And that's all you can think about for that moment, and then you are startled back to reality. Lawin, make that history check.
This dice is
So instead of that precise panel, we get that precise panel, but we have underneath, like right before it, both like Lawin standing there in thought, as well as, Jettica standing there in thought, like all of our heroes in a row. Then that giant black panel with the ruby lips, the teeth, the blood, and them just kind of both startling back to reality.
Dance do it is. Let's go. Jettica's across the
Can I make an
No.
expertise magic roll?
If you have it,
Yeah,
go
I
for
guess
it.
this is where we're going.
Yeah.
There we go. There's a good roll.
Titanica, you're having a great day. Best day ever. You recall a conversation you had, not a book, not anything first person, but you recall a conversation on a forum that you're a part of about like the previous like generation of heavy mystical hitters, and the spoiler was up there, like, and they started young, real young, like teens, in doing the dark magic, and was swinging at far higher than any sort of study or like natural competency would suggest. And then, having like thoroughly beaten the Green Ronin and making their way off with something no one can quite recall, but it was something of great importance. And then he just disappeared. And no one remembers why. No one remembers what it was. But they remember the despoiler. They remember just, like, this is a guy who would take on teams solo. And when he finally walked away, it was theorized he was like 22. So, no, it weird stuff.
I will ballpark that to the group and just basically be like, this guy was like a big swing hitter messing with some like maybe reality altering level stuff. So like, be cool. I feel like we should wait until after his dance lesson.
I am sure the other two who stood there heard that.
Yeah, you guys heard it. Do you stand there and like wait to see that the lesson's over and go in,
no.
or do you go in?
No, Lawin went with
Totally
Jettica.
backing up Jet. Yeah, totally backing up Jet.
Lawin,
And
you were
Okay.
saying?
looking to totally looked at Titanic and just sort of shrugs, like I don't like they're I don't, and he just follows.
To be clear, Titanica, you are absolutely right. Jet has had enough today.
It's been a day.
Lawin, you're crossing the street.
For today.
Yeah, he's gonna go.
You go in. Bell rings on the door. Surprisingly enough, Beastie Boys Sabotage is playing as they're doing floor exercises.
Interesting choice.
And you're still dressed in your like superhero gear, right?
No, Lawin
Yeah,
went. Lawin went business casual when he went to
Business
club.
casual? Okay. So, do you immediately rush in and interrupt, or do you just like stand there for a couple of beats?
Lawin's going to observe the class and see what's going on.
You observe the class. They're again doing floor exercises, and then you see this well-built, like athletic, little bit wiry, older fellow in his like early 40s go across, get back in line to do the second pass, sees you, locks eyes with you, blinks, looks over at his teacher, back in a bit, and just goes, grabs a towel, walks behind the line, comes up. So, what do you want? And that's where we'll end tonight.
Ooh.
Ah.
And hey, that was absolutely fantastic. Had a wonderful time. Thank you all so much for being here. And thank you to Modifius, Imagining, Free League, and especially Green Ronin for making tonight possible. And now let's find out where you can find all these amazing people, what they're up to. And I think we'll go clockwise, starting off with Alicia. What you up to?
Hey, I'm Alicia. You can find me on Twitter at NNG98 and on Twitch at Petty Energy. I'll actually be streaming tonight for my usual Sunday night stream where I do mostly board games like Wingspan and stuff like that. Sometimes co-op, sometimes solo, depends on how many people show up. That's kind of my big thing. Most often, you can find me on other people's channels, just as such as here, and various one shots and all over the place. So if you want to keep track of that, again, follow me at NNG98 at twitter.com. I had a lot of fun today.
Okay, so what's the next issue of Jet?
Right. So the next issue of Jet. Disorganization in the library. Is it a curse or a boon? Will this unlock another rune? Has the Abyss now learned a taste for physics? What will happen to gravity as we know it? Tune in next time for Jet.
Fantastic. And what does the cover of the next issue look like?
So the cover of the next issue sort of looks like, because the library in our hideout is just, it's expansive, but you can still tell where everything is. It's a lot of, like the Escher like stair paintings. Imagine that, but it's all bookcases, and it's just Jet, hands aglow with books. Some books look like they're kind of like hands out trying to stop books that are flying at her, as opposed to the usual like bring the book to me. Just in this maze of bookcases floating amongst them.
Fantastic. Looking forward to next week so much. And speaking of looking forward, Anino, where can we find you?
Hey everyone, my name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino4K. Not sure what my schedule's going to look like this week. I think we have some downtimes for some of the other streams that I'm doing. So, but if you follow me on Twitter, you probably get an up-to-date schedule as to when I appear next. And as far as the solo issue goes, I think it's going to be a flashback. So you'll see sort of this panel that's, aged back about 20 years or so, and it's a young Lawin facing off against a despoiler, but it's not necessarily this Lawin in particular. So it's kind of like from despoilers.
Oh, fantastic issue. And what's the cover art?
I think, it's probably a mirror, and you'll see, both of them standing in front of the mirror, and it's their older reflection. It's their current appearances, but then their appearances from 20 years ago, like their uniforms in the reflection.
Yes! Fantastic. Speaking of fantastic, someone who had, while the fight may have not gone their way, everything else fell into place. Molly, where can we find you?
You can find me at Obvious Rebel M on Twitter. And I don't do a whole... mostly I just talk about wrestling there. But if you want to see me play other Green Ronin products, I am part of the regular cast on the Adventure Game Engine Interest Series podcast. It's an audio actual play.
Fantastic. And what's the next issue of Titanica?
In the next issue of Titanica, she finds out that her best friend is going on a date with one of her regular supervillains.
What's the cover?
It's a splash page with that's sort of split down the middle. Half of it is like a relatively normal-looking guy holding a girl's hand, and the other half is him in his like the matching supervillain outfit side, with Titanica about to punch him in the face.
I love this so much. Someone who had, I think, a lovely time, but not his character. Mr. Smith, how are you doing?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. Oh, brilliant. You can find me at Mr_Smith on the Twitters. I tend to banter about Weave here periodically, as well as our sister channel, Penny for a Tale. You can find me actually there tonight with our live play of Pathfinder 2e Age of Ashes. I'm playing the resident wizard, Rune Ravenswood. However, for Mr. Universe, the next issue of Mr. Universe. Yeah, so the next issue of Mr. Universe will be him tackling his own mind as he attempts to wrestle with the dreams/nightmares he's been having, as his own mind has been trying to rationalize this expanse of infinity that he has, eternity that is now at his whim, and his mind has been trailing off into the void of space on the regular, and now he is forcing himself to stay awake because he doesn't know what the Fae have in store for him beyond what is already his nightmare. So the issue is the cover is him sitting on a very lavish looking bed, but at the edge of it there's an empty glass and an empty bottle next to him, and you can see his hand just sort of running through his hair as he is clearly struggling in some form or fashion.
Really, really cool. Now, if
I
you
really
want to see
like
more
the tone
of
that we've all set.
I know, right?
Yes, this is fab. Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Bill on Twitter, Pope World Bill on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of my ridiculous face, you get a number of opportunities. Actually, one very shortly, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, over on Matt F7's channel. If you are not had enough of the superhero heroics, come tune in for Masks Sunset City, where instead of trying to wrangle a story, I'm trying to not be quite so wrangled by it, as the Killer GM helps guides us through a story of young superheroes. Uh, and then you can catch me soon over on Fridays on Praxcore Thesmophoria's channel as we are starting season 2 of Starblade Battalion. This time, the title's changed. It's Starblade Battalion Seeds. So get ready for some fun Mexican space action as the intrigue is already thick, and tune in, I believe, on the 1st of October for my solo episode. So Prax gets to torment me for a full 3 hours. And then keep your eyes peeled over on Follow Black Cats, as Little Bird told me that the spy game will be returning. So if you want to see me play the worst human ever in Sherlock, keep your eyes peeled to their Twitter. Aside from that, I want to thank you all so much. This amazing cast and all of you watching live VOD on YouTube, wherever you are as much part of the story as we are. The story is nothing without its audience. So thank you so much. Take care. Look forward to seeing you soon. I am pleased. I am so